Hello, this is Aaron from Workflow 86, and today I'll be showing a new feature which we just released, which is the ability to automatically redirect users from one form to another form inside of the same session. So, for example, we have a workflow here where it begins off with this form, and then what we want to do is when the user submits this form, we actually want to redirect them to this form. Now, before this feature was released, what would happen is that the user would submit this form, and then the link to the second form would actually be emailed to them. So they would have to go into their email, click that link, and then that's how they'd open the second form. With this new linked form feature, this actually allows you to automatically redirect the user to the next form on the same web session, basically. So the way it works is below the form builder, you'll see that there's a new option bar here. You click on that, and inside of here, you'll see that there are two options. We'll select redirect to another page, and then from this drop-down menu, we'll select the form that we want to redirect the user to once this form is submitted. So in this case, we want them to be redirected to linked forms onboarding part 2. Click done. Now, what will happen is when the user clicks submit on this form, it will then display a loading page and then redirect them to this form here. So let's see that in action. All right, so this is form 1, and you can see here, I'm just going to type something, testing. I'm going to click submit, and then you can see here that a loading page is displayed, and this is just waiting for the next form to be generated, and then once that next form is generated, it will then automatically redirect the user to that next form. So here we are, this is the second form. Now you can see that again, rather than the user having to go into their email inbox and then find the link to the second form, they've just been automatically redirected here. Now, the other thing about this feature is you can also combine this with conditional workflow to basically have the user be redirected to one of two forms. So for example, after the user submits this form, we want them to either be redirected to this form or this form. And we can actually do that by inside of the redirect option here. What we'll do is we actually specify two forms that we want to redirect to. And the way this will work is whichever form actually gets generated is the one that it will redirect to. So in this case, the form that this will redirect to depends on the user's answer to this question. So was this onboarding workflow useful in understanding how the linked form feature works? Yes or no? And if we go into the workflow here, we'll see that we have two conditional workflows here. So if the user selects yes, then this particular path will run. And if the user selects no, then this particular path will run. And again, if the user selects yes, then it will redirect you to this particular form. And if they select no, then I'll redirect them to this particular form. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to select yes. And again, coming back to our workflow, this means that once we submit this form, it's going to redirect us to this form here. So submit, and again, you see the loading page waiting for the next form to load up. And there we are, we've been redirected to linked forms onboarding part 3A. And again, that is this particular branch here.